I mean, that's pretty much nirvana if you're a bull. People are pricing in a pretty nice Goldilocks scenario.
Well, the markets, being a cold, cruel mistress that they are pricing in. As Jim Canos explains here, a legendary Wall Street short seller, he explains how the current setup is actually nirvana for the bulls and pricing in an extreme Goldilocks scenario. That's right, we've told you since the beginning of the year that we're in a transitory Goldilocks environment. Well, if transitory means what the Fed wants you to believe it means, then I guess it means it goes on forever. Because inflation hasn't gone away, and neither is this Goldilocks period, where we're looking on one side at eternal doom and gloom, but it just hasn't happened yet. And in the meantime, we're getting a pretty convincing rally. As you know, markets love to exact max pain on its participants. And Carlo right now is saying the pain trade remains, yields in US Treasuries lower, and equities higher. This means that the market is not expecting for yields to drop, so of course they will drop, and it's not expecting for stocks to rally, so of course they're rallying. You can replace equities with crypto here because they trade in the same risk basket. They are trading in lockstep as of 2020 and 2021, though there are moments of decorrelation here. Let's not get into that topic because the decoupling has not happened yet. When it does, we can all celebrate. What he points out here is almost poetic. He says this will reverse when it's no longer the pain trade, meaning when more and more people pile in and start expecting the rally to continue, boom. Sorry for the jump scare, but that's what it will feel like. And that's because the macro trend is still to the downside. The short-term trend is to the upside. However, the macro bear market is still in effect until proven otherwise. And again, you take the stairs up and the elevator down in a bear market. So how am I playing this? Well, I'm actually going to give you my TLDR here, but I do want to have a little bit of a personal interjection here before we go on. You see, I built this channel here on giving alpha, on picking coins that I thought would go up, and throughout the 2020 and 2021 markets, I absolutely crushed it, and many of the coins that I picked here on the channel had insane gains. But to be honest, it's impossible to do this in a way that aligns with the expectations of a general YouTube audience that consists of hundreds of thousands of people. Maybe on a small scale with a small community, it's possible. But that said, if I don't provide some kind of information and guidance on the market, my beloved community members here are going to go find it from people that I don't really think are that good at understanding this market. They haven't been doing it as long, and I know for a fact they haven't traded it as well as I have. So the reality is that I'm going to try to do this in a way that spares me the mental health crisis that I went through in 2021 when I started getting attacked from hundreds of thousands of people, and quite frankly, it was one of the hardest periods of my life. I'm in a much better place now. The market is in a decent place right now, and I want to help give my guidance in a way that the audience understands that it's purely objective, because anyone who knows me knows that my only priorities really in this industry are building my project, Superverse, previously called Superfarm, which consists of Gigamart and Imposters. Those pieces of technology are where I spend all my time, and me and my team work on those day in and day out. And our goal is really simple: to bring billions of people onto the blockchain through gaming. Now, this YouTube channel is awesome, and it's where I get to relate to you all. So my goal is to try to build a system where I can provide guidance on the market, and you guys all can see transparently that it really is just that, me trying to help the audience out. Now, the easiest way I can think of doing this is by not actually trading the coins I talk about myself. I'm curious what you guys think about that in the comments below. Do you think that that's the right way to approach this, is when I eventually talk about trends in the market to effectively steer clear of the ones that I'm talking about? Is that even fair? Is that even realistic? I don't know. I'm just coming up with ideas here because when you've seen enough of crypto like I have, you realize that there are patterns that you can easily use to predict which coins are going to pump, and to, with a high degree of certainty, as much as you can in crypto, rig the odds of the game in your favor. And of course, I want to do that for this audience. Anyway, that's my personal rant. I do want to help this audience to the max degree possible, and in the end, understanding which projects and which narratives do hold water and are worth at least paying attention to is, in my opinion, kind of what everybody wants to know. And so let's get back to this Goldilocks scenario that I was talking about, where Bitcoin and crypto are set for a pain trade to the upside, the most hated rally in history. Well, guess what? It's also being complemented with tiny amounts of liquidity on the order books, meaning there's so much less Bitcoin on exchanges. That means that any move to the upside or downside will be much more dramatic. And that sets the stage for a pretty violent rally or a violent collapse. Now, if we take a look at our good pal BTC here, and as you can see, they actually updated these charts here on CoinGecko to be green. So shout out CoinGecko for the visual update here. You can see here we had a massive drop here from 23.9 all the way down to about 22.7, about $1,000 drop on Bitcoin. And during this time, this was as we were coming into the monthly close. Now, over the course of the last few weeks, Eric Crown, who's my buddy, check out Eric Crown Crypto, absolutely goated, greatest of all time technical analysis trader. And of course, there's a lot of great traders, but I really like Eric. I found him to be accurate, especially through the last bear market. He crushed it. So we're in a bear market again, and he has pointed out that there's a huge amount of momentum on Bitcoin right now, and his biggest sign that he was looking for was effectively the monthly close on Bitcoin, which is coming in literally within the next few hours. Now, this monthly close, if it's above 21,500, which right now we're almost $2,000 above that, $1,500 above that, well, that's a sign that there should be bullish continuation here. And right now, I cannot see this price getting under 21.5 before the monthly close. So with that monthly close, we now have a high time frame reversal on Bitcoin, which is absolutely the first time we've seen that this bear market. And I do want to remind you, this is one of my tweets from this week where I pointed out that we just learned the way that the Fed will be calculating CPI inflation, you know, that number we're all scared of, is changing for the first time this month. So we're going to get the Fed, instead of calculating CPI data based on 2 years of information, they're going to be calculating it just on 1 year of information. So the only year we're comparing to is the highest inflation year ever in history, 2021, not the normal 2 years of lagging data. Now, they're saying this is to have a more precise number, but in my opinion, this could be the sign that we're actually changing the rules of the game such that inflation is easier to beat or to tame. This literally changes everything. If inflation is now easier to beat, we have this Goldilocks scenario going on, nirvana for the bulls, according to a legendary short seller. Well, this could actually lead to a very sustained trend up to the point where we actually get this hard landing recession if we're going to get it. Now, I'm a big believer that the economy is pretty screwed up and we will see this happen, but I'm also a big believer in adjusting to new information. And right now, I told you I was playing this market with a small amount of coins. I haven't gone crazy. And that's because in the last few weeks, I've been able to multiply my stacks of coins from just 1% or so up to over 3% of my portfolio. And I'm going to continue playing with small position sizes in this new market. You see, by limiting my position size to being small, even if I end up losing or we get a huge drop, I still have a ton of liquidity sidelined so I can average in at the lows. But if this does end up being a significant rally, I'm able to print a good amount of gains and actually profit from this. The biggest lesson that I learned from 2021 is that the audience often doesn't position size accordingly. We talk about altcoins being super risky and could drop 80 to 90%, but could also pump 100x. And what do most people in the audience do? Well, it seems like eat glue and throw your entire portfolio into one altcoin. That's not how this game works. This game works by spreading out bets and putting little amounts of coins into the high risk, high reward scenario while averaging most of your portfolio into the stuff that's destined to grow long term like Bitcoin and Ethereum. There are a ton of obvious plays on my list. I just want to figure out the right way to communicate them to you because in the end, the audience understanding where I'm coming from and why I'm doing this content in the first place, because I'm building cool stuff and want you guys to take that stuff seriously. That's my only ambition here. I'm great at trading the market and I have no problem doing that, but building this community and sharing as much value with you as I can, given that I have a perspective that many of you don't have, is something I want to do. So let's have this conversation in the comments and figure out the best way that I can share with you the things I'm seeing in the market in a way that you all are excited about it. We'll come up with a great format here. And in the end, if I can pass on the way to more safely, more effectively navigate this crazy land that is crypto, that has these eruptive growth periods and these incredible bear markets that when you understand them do offer the chance for normal people to transform their lives by getting into things like Bitcoin and Ethereum at huge discounts, well, you too can be a crypto master. And I believe you can also break free of this crazy financial machine. So let's do this together. I'm excited for the journey. And like I said, we're going to be playing that game soon, still setting up some of the infrastructure behind it, where I'll have codes in each video and then codes on Twitter in my content. The people who put them together will claim real assets on the blockchain, some of which could have a huge amount of value, real value, proven and already traded in the market. So I'm excited for this game. I'm excited to give back as much as I can to this community and show you guys what I'm made of. As always, I'm EllioTrades, and I'll see you very soon on the next episode.